I am working on a Michael Jackson pencil drawing today um, that I started, some time ago. I uh, I do a lot of pencil drawings. I've done several Michael Jackson uh, pencil drawings over the years, ever since I was a young kid. I've been drawing. I've been drawing all kinds of stuff. I mean, I've done a lot of Michael Jackson, like I said, but I've done a lot of other things too. I've done so many pieces. I don't even know how many I've done. I've done different commission pieces for people over the years too, and everything from people's pets to their vehicles, whether it's car, motorcycle, motocross, dirt bike stuff. Whatever. It's been so many things. It's hard to really keep track of all of it. I don't document it all. I have I have so many sketchbooks. Some even nicer than this one. I mean, this is one that I've had for a while now, but I mean it's a regular sketchbook, and I've done you know so many sketches of Michael Jackson. It's like you know, and I don't always have the time to go in detail and finish them. But when I do, I try to come back and I try to, get stuff, done. But, you know, I am very, I am very busy. So drawing is not something that I get to do a lot of like I used to when I was younger. Um, I wish I had more time to devote to my artwork. Um, I've done a lot of other stuff regarding my book series, the TRANS-METRONOME-DEVICE. I've worked on my own sketches, storyboards for my mini series and for the film that I've been shooting simultaneously now since, believe it or not, since 2015. It's a very big undertaking. Um, my first book, the TRANS-METRONOME-DEVICE Book One, The Tangled Web of Betrayal, has like 64 characters in it. So, and me being an independent filmmaker, and this is going to be my very first full length feature film when it's completed. It's just, it can be, sometimes it just could be very, difficult, almost undaunting. So I decided to make a mini series in order to have a shorter version so I could release it to the public so they could, you know, get a little background on my time travel sci-fi fantasy miniseries. So they get a whole idea of what the original book you know is like. Get a feel for the story. Because there's a lot going on. It's very complex. I've I first started it when I was a teenager, and it was a 38 page short story, and then since then I've just built on it. I've added so much, and just believe me, there's so much. We'll just call it the TMD for short. There's so much to the TMD. I mean, not only is it a time travel saga, but it is a very multiple level story of consisting of, there's a couple different love stories going on with a couple different, the main characters. And the thing about them, when there's so many of them, is when it gets right down to the very end, which I know because I've created the TMD. But when it gets right down to it, all of the characters that I've introduced, they will eventually all be intertwined. They all have, you know, something that brings them all to the table, so to speak. There's something that they all have in common, and I don't want to ruin it for you, so that's where I will leave that at. But that's why there's so many characters, and eventually you know, they all end up, you know, in the same. I don't want to say in the same boat, but on the same. No, I'll just leave it at that. They all have something in common, something major in common, and you won't even, you know, if you follow my stuff as the years unfold and I release, you know, the seasons of the miniseries, and I get the full length feature film done and all that, um, you will see that it has all been worth the wait, and you know how truly complex of a story that I have created. You know, you will just, sometimes I can't even fathom it myself. I mean, it's like I think to myself, how did I come up with all this? But I mean, I have a very, very vivid imagination, and my mind is constantly, and I do mean it's constantly, you know, in motion, thinking about different things, you know, how to, do this, how to perfect that, how, what will make this, better. What do I got to do to get from point A to B, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, it's just a never-ending story. It seems like you're always thinking of things, you know, and that also includes different things that I deal with in my day-to-day, my day-to-day life. You know, it's not all fantasy world. I mean, I do a lot of creating and stuff for the TMD, but all the other things that I have going on in my life, it's just, well, anybody knows there's just not enough, there's not enough hours really in the day. There truly isn't. It's just like, time is truly our most valuable commodity. I mean, it just, you know, it's just something that we can't get our time back. Everything, the time we invest is all, you know, time is very important. Some people say time is money, but that's not true. If time was money, you know, you can replace it. You can't replace your time. We all are set here on this earth, and everybody's got a different outcome. Everybody is here for a purpose. Everybody's here for a reason. I do believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. And you must use your time wisely. And I mean, I can't say that I've always used my time, wisely in every aspect of my life. I mean, I used to have regret. I don't have regret anymore because, everything that we do in our life, every choice we make, you know, creates the person that we, eventually become. I mean, so everything's a learning experience, and, you know, everything's a decision. But you really can't regret. If you regret, you're only, bringing harm to your own well-being. You can't regret. Everybody makes decisions. Sometimes they're not always the best of decisions, but they are still decisions that bring you to the final outcome. And everybody, like I said, everybody has a purpose, while they're here. So make the most of it. Try to make the best decisions. And if you do make, mistakes, because I've made my fair share of mistakes in my life. But when you do make mistakes, learn from them. Learn from them and grow, because if you don't learn and grow, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you have to learn from your mistakes. History is very important. And, if we want to have a good future, we have to learn from our history. We can't just throw our history away. We have to learn from our history. Because if we don't, the old saying is, when you don't learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it. Now, not all history is bad, but if you don't learn history, real history, true history, and you don't, focus on the good for the future and avoid making the same mistakes, well, what can I say? I just just have to, you truly have to be everything that you can be. You have got to succeed. You can't ever quit. Don't ever give up, no matter what. It's just, quitting is never an option. And I'm sure that if you're watching this video this far through, you've gotten to this point, you know what I'm saying. It's just, quitting is not an option. You know, you just got to keep pushing forward every day. When you wake up, you got to, some days, are really great days. Other days is a little slower. It's like it takes a little bit to get, yourself motivated, because, let's face it, sometimes, when you hear that alarm go off, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. I just want to hide away from the world today. Well, you can't always hide. Sometimes you can take a special day or something, take some time to yourself, but you can't always hide. You have to grow. You have to get up. You have to move forward. You have to say, okay, I am going to do something big today. I am going to accomplish something big. Get yourself a bunch of goals. Write them down. Make a whole lot of them. You know, start big and just work your way down, and then start checking them off. Make a goal punch list. Things that you want to accomplish in life. And when you start focusing on accomplishing those goals, and you actually start bringing them to fruition one by one, you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, I should have done this a long time ago. Because let's face it, not everybody, not everybody keeps a daily record. Not everybody does, like, a diary type of thing even, some people do. But you gotta be goal oriented. You gotta have goals, and you gotta, if you're in a slump, you gotta believe me, I've been in many a slumps. You gotta get yourself out of those low times. You've got to motivate yourself, remind yourself, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is, and these are the avenues that I have to take in order to accomplish these goals. You can't just, hope that, the best is going to happen. Just, eventually, something, something, something. Because, that doesn't, that doesn't happen. Now, some people are lucky. Some people hit the lottery. Well, you got to play the lottery to win it. And you have to have money to be able to play it. Because some people, they need to count on every dollar that they have. Some people have families, they have young children and stuff, so they don't have, some options that some people have. But just every waking minute of the day, try to make every minute of your life really count for something. Because like I said before, I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made my fair share of mistakes. I've wasted a lot of time. I blew a lot of money in my day. There's a time when you have to say, hey, it's time to mature. It's time to, reevaluate everything in my life and be the best that you can be. Because like Stallone once said in one of his movies, the world meets nobody halfway. And that's truth. That's real truth. If you want something, you have to get up every day and work on it. You have to get out there and get a hold of it. Take that dream and make it a reality. Because nobody's going to hand you something. The only way you're going to get something handed to you is if you're from a rich family and they leave you a lot of money. And we know that that's not everybody's, that's not everybody's destiny. Not everybody has a family that's very, very well to do and, is going to leave them a lot of, money and, resources, whether it be, property, or whatnot. You got to work. And you don't always have to work hard if you work smart. The old saying, work smarter, not harder. Educate yourself. And you don't have to go to college because college costs money. So if you want to do good, you can see what are you good at? What kind of talents do you possess? And you might say, well, I don't have any talents. I'm not good at anything. I don't believe that. That's where everybody falls short. They sell themselves short by saying, oh, but I can't do this. I can't do that. You know what? You can do anything. You can do anything you want to do. You just have to set your mind to it. Focus on it. And you can truly accomplish anything. And that's not just a fantasy. That you can make it a reality, but you have to want it. You have to want your dream. Dreams don't come true just because they come true. They come true because people work at bringing them to reality. Bring them to fruition. But educate yourself. Like I said, you don't have to go to college. Not everybody can afford college. If you can get into college, that's good. And then, be your own person. Be creative. Creativity. The imagination, the mind is incredible. And when you do things that help your mind expand, I mean, you can go on, you can go on social media, on YouTube and stuff, and look up things. You say, hey, you know what? I can't afford to go to college for, I would love to be, I would say, say you have a dream that you'd love to be good at, something in the equestrian field. You want to work with horses. You want to learn how to, well, start with some videos. Don't go out and buy a horse right away. Start watching some, videos on how to raise and care for horses. I teach you everything from, you know, what they eat, how what kind of setting do you have to have for them in order for them to thrive. What kind of, you know, know the ins and outs. It could be other stuff too. Maybe you want to, maybe you like dogs or cats. Maybe you would like to maybe, be a breeder, you know, look it up, you know, look it up. Go to school on YouTube because there's so much knowledge out there. So much information. There is no reason why anybody that has a dream of becoming something that they can't look it up there and start learning. And the more you learn, the more confidence you grow. The more confidence you grow, the closer you get to taking that first step to make it a reality. So once you felt you've learned enough, you take the first step. Not like I said, don't go out and buy a horse right away. That's a big, you know, that's a big thing to, that's a big thing to accomplish. I'm not saying you can't, and shouldn't. Just, take your time though. Just, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you need to just, baby steps. You need to just take it one day at a time. But keep at it. Don't give up. Never ever give up. And the reason I keep talking like this, is to, while you're watching my video, and I hope you've made it this far through, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my channel. I have a little something on here for everyone. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Comment, share my videos, share videos that you like, whether they're videos or shorts, whichever. Share the work that you like. And, tell your friends, hey, I seen this channel, check it out. And, channel, this guy's got a lot of different things. I mean, because I do everything from lip syncing. There's a few videos I've actually done some singing, but I enjoy the lip syncing to some of my favorite songs and stuff. But whoop, dropping pencil. But sometimes I'll do little comedy things. If I see something that's really funny. Everything's not the same to everybody. Some people might think certain things that that I think are funny are not funny, or vice versa. Just but there is something for everyone, and you never know what you're going to see. Because I do try to switch it up, and I try. Sometimes I might make a bunch of videos that are related, and I got to get on there and I got to get on there and do some more stuff to my channel. I got to start categorizing, and so that way when people come to visit my channel, if they have certain likes, that they'll be able to go to just 'cause I see all the different people out there, the way they design their channels and stuff. And I'm just a little over 2 years old, and I mean, this was, this has all been a learning process for me. I mean, for real. I mean, I've enjoyed it, and I have so much yet to learn and so much to do, with the channel. But stick with me because believe me, I have a lot of really, really cool stuff coming down the pike. It's never going to be a dull moment. If you subscribe to Vincent Paul Mirabella Second Film Productions, you won't be disappointed. And of course, I am Vincent Paul Mirabella II. And I love you all. I do. Sometimes I have the occasional person out there that might make a negative comment or something, but I've learned that you can't feed negativity with more negativity. You just have to you just have to face it. Sometimes, there's people that are going to say certain things, and I look at it this way. Let them talk. Let them say, whatever. You know, they're just words. And sometimes to some people words can be hurting, but I have come to the conclusion where I'm not going to let somebody's words hurt me. I've experienced too much in my life to let sticks and stones break my bones. Yeah. Or should I say, not sticks and stones break my bones, but the old saying, words will never hurt me. I've come too far to let words hurt me. Now, sticks and stones, they got to be some big sticks and stones, but, you know, I truly believe that you get what you put out into the universe. And every once in a while, you might get something that's a little, out of the ordinary. You might get somebody that's, in very rare form or something. Because it takes all kinds to make the world go round. Not everybody's going to always be nice, but I try to be nice to others. I try to treat people the way that I want them to treat me. And I love everybody unless they give me a reason not to. Then I just write it off as, hey, it's their loss, because I'm a very caring person, and I got a big heart. And sometimes people trample on your heart and feelings, but you know what? You just got to get up and say, hey, you know what? Forget about it. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. And I'm not going to let somebody get me in a position where they screw my day up, so to speak. I'm not gonna do it. Sometimes you get frustrated, but you know what? When you start getting frustrated, do something like I'm doing right now. If you like to draw, or if you don't know how to draw, but you think you would like to learn how to draw, start watching, people do art, and get your feet wet. Because the only way that you're going to learn to do something that you're interested in is just start doing it. It's just like filmmaking. I didn't go to school for filmmaking. I learned from reading and watching different behind the scenes, etc., etc. And I remember Quentin Tarantino saying once, the best film school is just getting out there and just start shooting your, making your movie. Just get out there and start, do it. And believe me, the more you do, the more you learn, and the more you'll, see that, hey, there is a lot of work to it, but I tell you what, it's very rewarding. And the stuff that I have, accomplished now over these few years is going to blow, it's just going to blow people's mind, because they're going to be like, wow, because I've built so many props, things that you need. And I've talked to so many people, and I've got them to work with me and sign with me in order to use their property or their establishment for something in the miniseries or the film. And it's like, when people see that you have a passion for something and they show interest in it, you'll find that people will work with you. And it's amazing when you think about it. It truly is amazing what others are willing to give, whether it's their opinion or their time or something that they possess that you could use temporarily and stuff. It's just amazing. So if you want to jump into that, maybe you want to be a filmmaker, just get out there and start doing it. It's the only way. Get out there and just learn. The more you do, the better you get at it. but this year, I'm finally, I'm finally gonna get my pilot completed, and I'm gonna release it in the local theater here where I live, and see how it does, and then I'm gonna branch out from there. Um, and I have high hopes, and I just plan on making the transmetronome device everything that it can be, and it's just it's just something that I have a passion for. I've had a passion for years, and the more things I build, you know, the more I see it come to fruition. I mean, I was brokenhearted last year when the tornado mini burst touched down here in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and wrapped my picked my air car up and threw it into an oak tree. Just wrapped it around it, all the aluminum and the PVC, everything that I made it out of. The first build, it just totally just it just obliterated it. I was heartbroken, but I started. I've been working on the rebuild, and it's all aluminum framing. There's no PVC involved in it now. And when I do unveil the Magna Quad Runner Air Car Mark II, those that remember the first, or if you don't remember, check out my shorts and scroll down until you see the big aircraft. The big, air car. You can't miss it. It's on top of what I call the Nomos Laboratory for the miniseries and the film. It's a little garage that I built, but you'll see it sitting on top of the roof. And it was 16 feet long. I had 16 feet of it built. It was 16 feet long, and it started out. It was like 8 feet, from the nose, and it flared out like 10 to 12, and then it started coming back in again. Started tapering back in. But yeah, it was 16. It was 16 feet long. The model, I have the model, which, if you've ever watched any of my stuff here on the channel, you see the model, and the model is 2 feet long. So I had to get it to 24, but it didn't quite make it. But it made it to 16 feet. It was an impressive build. I really enjoyed building it. And I am enjoying building number 2, but I'm not going to, I'm not going to post until I've showed a little bit of the framework and stuff, but I've been building now, and I haven't showed anything recently because I want the unveil to be, breathtaking. I want people to say, wow, I want them to see the improvements and say, wow, that was definitely worth the wait. That was definitely worth the wait. I'm telling you. It will be. Oops. Wow. Pencil flip. Oh. Oh. Well, Michael Jackson is progressing. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah. He's looking a lot different. He's really coming to life. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I will continue this again later. So keep checking out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Please share. I appreciate it. It doesn't cost anything. I don't ask for any money here. All I ask that someday you'll get a chance maybe to go out and check out my book. And when I get the pilot done, if you're lucky enough to have it come to your area, check it out. But I'm in several libraries. The book is in the Newcastle Public Library. It's in 3 different Ohio libraries. I'm down in the Florida Keys, and I'm also over in France and Sicily, believe it or not. I'm independent, so it's taken me a while to get around to different places. But there's places that it's in the library. There's places that have it for sale, like Leanna's Books and More, Bell's Comics up in Grove City, Pennsylvania, downtown Sharon at the Emerald Tablet. So many I haven't thought about them for a while. It's like it's when books sell, they send me a check, and it's something I don't really think about much, but I do have to expand. I have to get in more stores, which I'm going to work harder at this year at doing. So if you're watching this, and if you are interested in reading the Trans-Metronome-Device, Book 1, The Tangled Web of Betrayal, and pretty soon I got a bunch of changes going on with Book 2. Watch some of my other videos and you'll see. But yeah, if you're interested in it, message me and tell me where you're from, and maybe we can get a book to you if you want. If you're in Ohio, Pennsylvania area, you can have the book. I forget what they call it. You can tell your library, hey, I'd like to read this book. Can you get a library loan? And they'll do that for you. But until the next time, peace out, everybody. I love you. And watch for more of my Michael Jackson pencil art and my videos and so much more. I love you all.